Hey y'all, welcome back to another video with Life of Chester for the Bold and Beautiful May 28, 2025. This month went by so fast, y'all. Hold on. But yeah, this month went by so fast. But first things first, let me know your thoughts on today's new episode down below. I said, look at here. Look at here. Luna had the right question. She said, if she's so dangerous and all this other stuff and she's crazy, then why are you standing there threatening her? I said, right, exactly. I said it all the time. I said they always be like, they crazy, they dangerous, they belong in jail, but you think that you confronting them is a good idea. Make it make sense. It was something else I was gonna say at the opening of this. What was it? I know it's about Luna and what she said, but it was something else. I think it was that Hope and Carter over here reciting vows and stuff. I said save it for the wedding day. I said save it for the wedding day. But okay, on today's episode, we're gonna start with Hope and Carter. So they end up coming downstairs and they were just talking about everything and the fact that they getting married or whatever. And Hope seemed excited. I said they trying to sit up here and manipulate us. They trying to trick us into rooting for this couple. They trying to trick us, y'all. I said that when they started reciting these vows and just trying to get Steffi and Ridge to support them or whatever, I was like, you can't trick me. You can't trick me. I can't root for them. Not yet, anyways. But yeah, they was just spending time together, and she was saying she seemed excited. She definitely seemed excited, but I still think she don't want him like that. But yeah, she was saying she excited to spend the rest of her life with him and stuff like that. They end up going to work, and that's when they end up telling the news to Brooke, Ridge, and Steffi. Which leads me to Brooke, Steph, and Red. They was in the office talking about the fact that Hope is back or whatever, and they still was saying how they don't know what position she's gonna get. Steffi ends up telling Brooke that she's not gonna bring back Hope for the future, at least not for right now. And she was like, she understand, she just decided that Hope is back working there or whatever. And then that's when Carter and Hope come in, and that's when they end up telling them that they're getting married. Look, Brooke was excited. She went hugged them or whatever and welcomed Carter into the family. But Steph and Red, they stood up there. Steffi, she tried. She definitely tried. She did say she wished them well. And if they think that they belong together and they could have a good life together, then, she support them or she rooting for them or whatever. Ridge over here, I said, Ridge still mad. He's still mad. But I still say that one thing I definitely agree with because y'all acting like they acting like it was just her plan. It was Carter plan originally, but the thing was that she wasn't regretful or whatever. She finally acknowledged it, and that's what Steffi was saying also. She was saying how Hope finally acknowledges her part or the part she played. Ridge ends up saying something about the takeover stuff like that, so it's gonna take them a while to support them and for things to get back to how they used to be because of the takeover and everything. But like I said, Brooke was excited. I think, what's today, Wednesday? Sometime this week they said that Brooke's supposed to try to get Ridge to plan a party for Hope or whatever. Also, if y'all didn't see my video I dropped this morning, I was on Facebook. What was it? 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, scrolling or whatever. I had just woke up and somebody dropped, it was the Bold and Beautiful fan page. They dropped a little spoiler, y'all. Luna is gonna buy a weapon because she finna get ready to try to take Steffi up out of there. She trying to get rid of her, y'all. What did the clip say? Let me see if I can remember. She's meeting with this guy. He's like, I think he said, "What's a beautiful girl like you trying to buy a weapon for?" Something like that. And she's like, "What do you think?" or whatever. And then they show her looking at a photo of Steffi on the laptop, look like, and she's pointing the weapon towards the laptop. I said, "This girl going back to jail. She going back to jail." I said, "She need to at this point." And I said, this episode, they already showed this episode with Steffi, not Steffi, what's her name? Sheila trying to warn her, whatever. I said, if Sheila the voice of reason, you know something. I said, if Sheila said you tripping, you know you tripping. Look, then y'all know already. Well, you probably don't know. Some people probably don't know. She was supposed to tell her not to say another word about Finn's wife or whatever because she said something about why don't we just eliminate her. I said, this girl, I knew she hadn't changed. I said, I knew she hadn't changed. They don't let her out of jail for nothing. Where Bill at now? Where's Bill at now? But yeah, I think we finished. Let me see with Brooke, Stephen, and Ridge. They was just saying they was just reciting vows. Carter and Hope was just reciting vows. He telling her how much she means to him and how his heart skips a beat and stuff like that when she around and she just make his life better or whatever. Um, and that was the end. Hold on, wait, let me make sure. Yeah, that was the end of their scene with Luna and Sheila. I wrote down. I said I like Luna hair. I like that hair color she got. I like that hair color she got. But yeah, she was talking to Sheila. Sheila came up while she was staring at a picture of Will. I said, I knew she was crazy still. I knew it. I knew it. He don't got her out of jail for nothing. But yeah, so Sheila was questioning her about it. And she ends up texting Will. What did she say? she said something about where she was at El Jardín, or something about she don't want to be alone or something like that. Some type of something she said crazy or inappropriate or whatever. And Sheila seen her and she was trying to advise her against it. And she was just being the voice of reason. And once again, I said, if Sheila the voice of reason and she a crazy lady, she the main crazy lady, you know, son. But she started telling her, she's starting to act obsessed over Will and stuff like that. She tell her not to go out there, Electra, not to do anything. And she's supposed to break up a fight between between Electra and Luna. But yeah, what else? What else? Sheila was saying that she wants Luna to respect Finn or whatever. She was like, respect my son and stuff like that. And then when Sheila had left, I'm skipping the part, but when Sheila had left, she said something about where's the loyalty or something like that. And then she started texting the dude again. I said, But yeah, let me see what else. Sheila reminded Luna that Will is with Electra, and she trying to explain to her that it's not right or whatever. It's not like he's single. She's talking about it's not like he's married or whatever. They could break up tomorrow. And she was like, that's what you hoping for? And that's what she hoping for. I still say that Will want her. I still say want her. I seen somebody, they had, what did they say? They was like, Will seemed like he wanted to me. I said, right, he definitely do. Well, we haven't seen them as of lately. This is the first time in a while we've seen them. So we don't know where they headed with this storyline as of right now. I don't know how far in advance they do these episodes. Now, back when they first showed this stuff, I was saying the same thing. But right now, I don't know. We'll see. They do say this week we were supposed to confide in Katie about something. And I said, I know. Doggone well, he ain't finna fall for the oldest trick in the book. But yeah, what else happened? She was just trying to talk to her about it and telling her to respect her son, telling her that Will is with Electra and stuff like that. And she just was going on and on about Electra goody two shoes and I can't stand girls like that. And she did her little angry voice or whatever, and she was telling her to back off and stop. So she ends up leaving, and that's when Electra felt the need to confront her. And Luna said the same thing I always say when I do these reviews. You sitting up here talking about she's a murderer, she murdered 2 people, she this and that, she's crazy, she's dangerous. Then why are you sitting up there talking to her? This is the equivalent of Steffi. Remember, y'all. I know y'all remember. Well, some people just started watching. Hold on. Some people just started watching. But remember, Steffi wanted to. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if she got called there or what, but Steffi ended up falling. She went into the alley. She ended up confronting, getting all in the face and stuff like that. And that's when she finally snapped and hemmed up against that dumpster. Excuse me. Hemmed up against that dumpster or whatever. And I said, see? I said, see? But yeah, she was like, why are you threatening me if I'm so dangerous and crazy? I said, right. She seems to have forgotten. Well, yeah, Luna is Electra comes, and that's when she telling her, she putting her on notice or whatever, stay away from Will. He'll never want you. I said, if you feel that way, I feel like she know that Will would eventually go for her. I feel like he would definitely go for her or whatever. And I think Electra know that, especially since she ain't sleeping with him or whatever. And he keep on talking about he want to and stuff like that. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, they got to going back and forth about Will. And she was like, you must not seen the way he looks at me or whatever. And I want to know how did she get Will's number out of Bill's phone? I don't know how she got Will's number. Cause I was like, how she get his number in the first place? And why he was told Electra. He ended up, when she sent the text message, I forgot that part, y'all. When he sent the text message, well, she sent the text message, he told Electra right then and there. I said, about time somebody use their brain and tell right then and there. Because other times people be acting like they ain't see the message. They don't tell their girlfriend, wife, sister, brother, cousin, nobody. But yeah, he told her about the text message or whatever. And he was like, I don't want her, stuff like that. And Electra was like, I know you wouldn't go for a girl like that. Shoot. They'd go for anything. But yeah, so as soon as he got a text message, who did he say he got a text message from? Zende. He said he got a text message from Zende or whatever, so he had to leave. And then next thing you know, she said something. Electra said something and she left. I said, she ain't gonna learn until she learn. She ain't gonna learn until she learn. And that's when she went to confront her and they was going back and forth or whatever. And she called her crazy and something else. And something else she said, and I think she was telling her to stay away from her boyfriend or something. Then Luna got up close to her and stuff like, what you gonna do about it and all this other stuff. And no, what did she say? She said, threaten me again. Something she said. I forgot, y'all. She'd have told her to threaten her again or something like that. And I was like, yeah, they finna get that fight in. They finna get the fight in. Now, fighting, the spoiler says that Sheila breaks up a fight. Now it could be just arguing, because sometimes they don't be fighting, they just be arguing and they just use the word fight. So we'll see though. But yeah, according to the spoilers, they supposed to get to fighting, and that's when she was supposed to break it up and everything. Who else we got? I think that's it, because we went out of order, y'all. Will and Electra, we already talked about the Electra Luna. Yeah, that was it. Let me make sure. Electra not worried. Will claim he don't want Luna. Carter wonders how Ridge and Steffi would take the news. And that's when Hope said, she don't care what they think or whatever. She just excited. Will says Luna been texting him a lot lately. That's the thing. I think I mentioned it a little bit. He said that Luna been texting him a lot lately. Why wouldn't you been tell her? And why wouldn't you block her? Make it make sense. But that's it, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, do some girl. So they be safe. I'm finna watch General Hospital now, y'all.